Good day. This is Ray. Today is Saturday, April 20th, 2024 for me. Another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. Yeah, it's early. I get up early, had my first set of medications at 5 a.m. Made breakfast, had breakfast, took the bulk of my medications for the day at 6 a.m. Next set of meds is at 5 p.m. and then 6 p.m. That's my routine. That's just how it goes. So I've been thinking about something this past week. I'm getting close to a couple of anniversaries, so to speak. 5 years ago, next month, I was diagnosed with lupus. 3 years ago, May was when I started to budget. And in June of 2020 was when I identified that I had $115,041.89 worth of just a consumer debt. It is quite a journey, but making progress. My progress was slow quite a bit when I became a homeowner. Now you're probably asking, why in the heck did I become a homeowner with that type of consumer debt, or even how that was possible? I've talked about that in previous videos. It was out of necessity because the rental market is out of control, and it was actually cheaper for me to get a home as long as I was able to get the down payment. And the way I got the down payment was I dipped into my 401k. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I'm at the point now where I'm about to start accelerating my debt pay down. I've started just a little bit this month, but I had to back off because I'm taking a trip, business trip, and one of the nights that I'm staying at the hotel, I'm gonna have to cover that cost, and I'm gonna have to cover a couple of meals, and I want to do one touristy thing while I'm there. So there's a little bit of a cost, not as much as if I had to pay for the entire week. So I'm setting aside some money for that trip, not nearly as much as, like I said, if I had to cover the whole cost of that. But, just thinking about what is it going to look like going forward when it comes to paying off this consumer debt. It might be up and down, at least for the rest of this year, until I figure out how much am I willing to tolerate when it comes to throwing as much money as I can towards the debt, because I have not necessarily sacrificed a lot over the years when it comes to digging myself out of this crazy consumer debt. I paid off over $60,000 worth of consumer debt. As a matter of fact, I think I'm at I've paid off about 54% of the original debt. Next week, I'll give you the exact breakdown of where I am and how much progress I've made. But, I don't know yet how much I'm going to throw each month towards debt. But I know that I want to get out of the debt as fast as I can. So we'll see how that looks. And, there are going to be a number of factors that come into play. I'm fortunate that I have a HRA, or health reimbursement account, and that's pretty much, that'd be enough to be able to cover my doctor's visit for the rest of the year. And so that's an expense that I don't necessarily have to worry about. Preferably I don't go to the hospital or have any emergency like that. But that's one less thing I have to worry about. Of course, I have to budget for my medications, budget for food, budget for, mortgage, HOA, gas, electricity, cable, phone, just those things. So after all that's said and done, how much am I willing to throw at my debt? When I first started on this journey, I wanted to get a solid number. It's like, how much do I need to pay each month to be able to get out of debt in 2 years? Now, I'm sure, if you're really wanted to know what number that is right away, then you sit down, do a calculation as to how much interest you're accruing each month on your credit cards or your loan, and say, okay, this is exactly how much I need to pay in order to get out of debt. Now, it might be an easier situation for me to do that now because I only have two debts. I have a personal loan and I have a student loan. The student loan is kind of two loans into one because one is subsidized and one is unsubsidized, but that comes out as one payment. So, if I look at how much I pay off this month and then say, okay, it took me this much money, actual money, to be able to pay that much off, then I say, okay, that'll be about how much I would need each month to be able to get out of debt in a certain amount of time. Hopefully that makes sense. And then, if I want to pay it off faster, I say, well, I may have to double that to be able to pay it off in a year, 2 years. So, calculating is a lot easier, but the thing is that, we live in the real world. We've got other expenses. For me, because I live alone, it maybe it's a little bit easier for me to figure out all the expenses that I have. For someone who's married, has children, you have a lot of other things to account for. Children's clothing, for their doctor's visits, for school expenses, for I have coworkers that have children, so I hear about the things they're paying for. Sports lessons, all of these are the things you have to account for, but really you have to account for. It's just reality of the things. Also, I have one income because of my health. I'm not working two jobs to pay this down fast, so it may take me a little longer than someone who's healthy, someone who has multiple incomes, someone who's making more money. You may be in a position where you're making less money, and it doesn't really matter, but that's just something you have to figure out. And I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, I'm in a better position to be able to see a little more clearly as to how I can pay this debt off faster. So I am going to, start throwing more money at the debt. Probably starting next month. I believe I have a escrow analysis, and from the way things seem now, I'll probably get some money back from that, and then I'll just take that money, put it towards my smallest debt, and continue to press on. And each month, throw as much money as I can towards that debt, because I'm not having to throw money right now towards my emergency fund. My emergency fund is fully replenished, and I'm definitely happy about that. But again, what I want to say is that there is no magic number. That's something you have to figure out after you figure out how much your expenses are, how much is your monthly burn, how much money are you throwing towards your fixed expenses, towards your food and things like that. How much income are you taking in? And do you have your emergency fund fully set up? And only then is when you start shoveling and throwing as much money as you can towards your debt to get out of the debt. There is a right way to do this. And, the fact that I'm in this position where I have almost 3 years of budgeting behind my belt, and I feel comfortable with, if somebody gave me $100 today, I know what I do with that $100. I wouldn't spend it on, with inflation, that'd probably be like 40 chicken McNuggets. I'm not going to go crazy and do stuff like that. I don't go on vacations. I don't, go to the movies. I don't go bowling. I pretty much don't do anything that's considered You know, I wouldn't say fun, but just, you know, I don't even know what to say. I don't do a lot. You know, I do go outside and sit on my patio now. I've got patio furniture finally, and I get out and right now I'm learning Espanol. I'm trying to work on my Spanish, and so, you know, that's nice to get to sit out there and be in nature and be under the umbrella. But anyway, I'm just kind of yammering on. I got to figure it out. I'm going to throw as much money as I can towards that. Hopefully you're in a position to be able to do the same thing. All right, if you made this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications in order to post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@Lucas Lifestyle. As always, thank you, and I hope you take care.